Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's 5:30 on Friday, the 5th of November, Guy Fawkes night. You can probably hear some of the fireworks going on behind me here in Notting Hill. So, we've had animal spirits in the stock market, outstanding earnings out of the US, coupled with a very dovish Fed, and clearly, as you've seen, a very dovish Bank of England as well. So S&P 500 is up 6 points. It was up 30 points earlier this afternoon, and it's come off. We've got lots and lots of green lights, and short-term trend is up. The underlying trend is up, and we've got a confirmed up in place. Market's come an awful long way, ladies and gentlemen. And if I have a look at a 4-hour chart of the overnight market, this is a 4-hour chart. There's the pullback where we got all stressed out. And I've extended this. I talked about this on Monday afternoon at our VectorVest Q&A. I've extended the pullback as best I can, and I had a target of 4722. And as you can see, the market's come off that reasonably aggressively. It went right up to 4720 and is now back under 4690. It's not the end of the world. The trend is still strongly up. Nevertheless, as I pointed out on many occasions, the Fibonacci levels are very important indeed. Is it going to go to the next level, which is 2.618 of the pullback? That's at 5,000. Well, I really don't know, but I would be surprised if we didn't get a pullback. But I said that earlier on as well. So the trend is up. Nevertheless, I have some spread bets, and I'm very pleased with them. It's been my best period for a while. Nvidia, Builders, AMD, and Microsoft. And I had a position in Lincoln as well, LNC, which I got stopped out of yesterday at the entry point. So if we have a look at these folks, they've come an awful long way. Some weeks ago, somebody asked me on YouTube, I think, do you trade anything else apart from the Gartley stroke Wyckoff Spring? And my answer to the young man was that I do, but I wish I didn't. So that's an example of a trade in Nvidia, this flag, which was a really good trade. But this spring stroke Gartley formation has been magnificent. And as you can see, that was my entry point, and I brought stops up a couple of times. Really sorry I was at that show last Thursday and Friday, because I should have added to the position there as it broke out of that double inside pattern. That was pretty much a sitter. This was a surprise yesterday. We're just about at the 300, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take profits on all of these this afternoon. I haven't done it yet, but as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to do it. It's time to bank some of these after this sort of big run on the upside. I have no idea what's going to happen next, but the positions that I've got, Nvidia, I bought into it at 213. It's now at 299, and normally when you get an exponential move like this, they don't correct going sideways, they correct pulling back. Now, I've never seen that written down. That's just an observation of my own over the last damn near 40 years. So that's Builders, and Builders I got into just there, and there's a big gap here. My stop loss is still at entry, and I've taken a little bit yesterday off. But I'm going to bank that as well. That's a $10 profit. Bought in at 58. It's at 67. $9 profit in that, which is quite nice. This is AMD, and AMD I did add to the position. So I actually took a bit off here, and bought in again as it broke up through that high on that outside day, and stop loss is just still underneath that low, so I've got a full position in AMD, and that, if you understand candles, although I use bars, that's what's called a dark cloud cover. I have no idea whether they're going to come back or not, folks, but in these positions, I have that's the best run I've had for quite a long time, and I simply just need to bank the money. It'll keep me fed and watered for quite a few months, if not a year, these trades. So that I brought the stop loss up in Microsoft underneath that low last night sometime. So I'm going to get out of those 4 positions this afternoon, and I'll think about it next week. The crowd, the trade to me is starting to look very crowded indeed up there. I think that I've said for quite a long time now that we're due for a big run up into Christmas. It started much earlier than I thought. Sooner or later we're going to get a decent pullback, certainly. Not that far, of course, just back to about 550, that's all. So we're talking about 150 points here, hardly the end of the world. But it would be for my spread bets. The other market that's burst into life with central banks, in fact, not putting rates up to ward off inflation is the gold market. It's had a very, very good afternoon, and as you can see, it's broken that 1800 level. I'm hoping that that's done my 2 UK gold stocks some good. Before you get into the market, I think we need to see this break up here, folks. If you're not in the gold market, it certainly needs to get up above those 1840, 1850 levels before you consider anything. We've just been in this too long. Nevertheless, it's starting to look quite promising. All these lows have been, in fact, fib levels of the previous range, which is always a really, really good sign. And I'm counting this as 5 up and 3 back. I haven't got a position. I'm quite content with the position that I had. And the other position that I've still got running, in fact, is a position in the S&P. Bought into it. I'm getting rid of the fibs so we can see the wood for the trees here a little bit. I hate cluttered charts, as you know. This week, at the start of the week, it in fact came back to that level. I wish I'd got in at that level. I didn't have the strength to do that, but when I saw the 2 tails in this candle, it's a sign of very powerful accumulation. So I'm long at 46.10. I should have banked at 47.22, but I was busy doing something else, so I'm going to close that position out before the end of the evening, in fact just after I finish this video. So that's quite a nice 70-80 points profit on the S&P as well. It's a very small position because I took half off and got my stop to entry, which I've been doing on all of these positions, largely because of the range the market has been in since March, and that's kept me alive, because in that period from March until a few weeks ago, very few of the moves, for me anyway, followed through. That ANAT share followed through very nicely, but the rest of them I got the stop to entry and took off half, got the stop to entry, and I got stopped out in the second half. But nevertheless, it kept me alive, didn't lose any money by doing that. Hopefully we're now in a period between now and the Christmas holidays where the moves are going to follow through. Certainly the targets on the smaller cap stocks, which are a big part of the VectorVest composite, it looks as if that Russell, for example, is just about to blast off. So looking forward to a good spell in the markets between now and Christmas. Nevertheless, I shall be trading the VectorVest signals and not my stomach. In the UK, folks, I'll be talking about that in great detail on Monday afternoon at the VectorVest Q&A. I'm holding everything we spoke about, I spoke about the last time. And yesterday I added Lion Trust Asset Management back into the fold. I'm bought back into it. Many people will say, well, why did you sell out of it in the first place? Well, clearly, if I'd not sold out of it, I would be better off now. But I didn't know that during the pullback. So got out of it during the pullback, bought back into it yesterday. Let's see what happens. The portfolio had a very, very good day yesterday. It's an unleveraged portfolio. And if you look at the previous video on YouTube, the last couple, well, it's exactly the same. Just add in Lion Trust Asset Management. So that takes me up to pretty much about 80% invested. So folks, tomorrow afternoon I'll be talking about the UK market and the US market at the VectorVest International User Group run by Stan Heller. And on Monday afternoon, I'll be spending an hour looking at primarily the UK market with our VectorVest UK subscribers. Anybody who would like a complimentary invite to that, then just email me, david.paul@vectorvest.com. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.